Hello. Look at what I have in my hot little hands. This is the prototype arrived of the Savage Awakening, the Dragon Mother Oracle. And you get prototypes so that you can see what it looks like, make color modifications, layout modifications, all that stuff. So this is the prototype. You can see this is down a little too far in the formatting. This is down a little too far. This image needs to be brightened and brought forth because you can't see the detail of some things. But here, so you open your box, and we have the Dragon Mother Oracle book. You can also see here, it's too far this way. There was a printing mistake where the last page is the first page, and I don't know if you can see that the first page is the last page, but here's a nice Oracle book. I don't know if you can see the snake print, which I love. So this needs to be formatted. I've reached out to the company asking about this printing error, if it was my error or their error. And then these cards, so these are digitally printed as a prototype, but the cards themselves are going to be offset printing. The edges are white, but I colored them red with a red Sharpie that I bought because I knew I wanted it to be red. I'm not doing gilding on the printed deck, so it'll just be kind of just a regular card color, but I am going to show everyone where I got this in case you want to do that. So here's the back of the deck, and here's the cards. So these are, I'm going to do a thicker card stock. I just ordered these. This is actually pretty nice, but I wanted a little bit thicker. But here are some of the cards. We have Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, the moon. Isn't that card pretty? There's the sun. I don't know if you can see the lion. And then just a lot of the cards. There's the artist. I don't know if you can see how much is in that image. This is the lover card. So I'm going to be brightening up some of these. Here's Eminence. I love this card. These are so rich in person. It's not translating very well. This is the Death card, which I think she's just beautiful. She's got some vultures in her other eye. It was very exciting to hold these in person. They are gorgeous. I did a reading. I got them yesterday late afternoon in the mail, and I've already done a few readings with them, and they have been, I didn't consecrate them. I didn't do anything straight out of the box. I did some readings with them, and they were shockingly accurate. In fact, what happened was my sweetie got home early from work, and we were chatting, and I said, hey, go check the mail with me because I didn't know when they were coming. They were in the mailbox. And I started shuffling them. I got them out. We oohed and awed. I got them out and started shuffling them. And I said, hey, let me do a reading for you. And right when I said that, and I had in my head, I like to do 3-card readings. Right when I said, let me do a reading for you, 3 cards jumped out of the deck and fell on the floor. And I was like, I guess that's the reading. And I laid them out, and it was 1,000% accurate. It tripped me out. So I got to do a reading right out of the gate. They were super accurate. I'm just very excited. If you're in a process of spiritual initiation, these backs are going to be, I brightened the colors. I already went in early this morning and made some modifications. There's some, like, you can't really read on the bottom. You can't see that it says ancestors. So I did some modifications based on this. That's why we get the prototype. I did some modifications of elements that just weren't really showing up the way I wanted to, anything that was hard to read, anything like that. But these are 3.5 by 5. They're really nice feel in your hand. I'm going to bump up the cardstock just a little bit. So even for as large as they are, sometimes larger cards, when they're too stiff, you can't shuffle them. So I am going to be having these in a 330 GSM cardstock, which is still shuffleable, but it has a really nice weight and quality to it. These are a little bit flimsy. These are 310. They're still nice. 310 is a really nice cardstock, but for this big of a card, I made them big so you can really see the images. Like this big of a card, this is the familiars. Can you see all the little animals on there? These are so much richer in person. I wish it translated better. But for this size of card, you want a slightly more rigid cardstock so they don't feel flimsy, but you don't want it to be, like I said, too rigid. God, these are just so freaking cool. These images just look beautiful. I'm really, really pleased with how this came out. And this isn't even the final printing. This is just a digital print. So offset printing is much richer. And I'm thrilled. This is very exciting. So I'm going to make my changes and order another proof with the changes made. I'm going to wait to hear back from the company about the printing in the booklet. This is a 62 page. You can see it's pretty robust. This is a 62 page booklet that comes with the cards. You've got your complete table of contents for every single thing. We've got, it's a comments about the deck, how to store the cards, interpreting the cards, consecrating the cards. I've got sample spreads in here for you to do a number of sample spreads on different pages, and then going into the card meanings, giving you pretty good insight. And you can see that like this is just for the ancestors, and it goes over to the next page. So I'm giving quite a bit of information on card interpretation, but I'm trying to do it in a way that you can form your own relationship with the cards. So the whole point of these, oh, and you can see on the box is just a nice chipboard kind of sturdy box, but I'm ordering some printings to go inside the box as well. So the lid and the base will both have, this is the back of so the lids and the base will both have stickers in them it'll both have images in them. So I'm getting those ordered too. So it should be really pretty packaging when it's all done and the formatting is correct. You can see that's too far over to the spine. But the reason that I created these, the intention that I had with these is that these are actually a communication tool for you to get your own guidance and build your own relationship with the beings of the unseen realm and with deeper intelligence, right? So it was really important to me to figure out how to encourage and support you having your own relationship with the spirits and with the deeper intelligence rather than me overly interpreting or overly making the meanings too concrete. So it's not vague at all, but it's really trying to capture the spirit of the cards rather than hard stop meanings on them. And then I've also created, or I am still creating, a short video of each card that has a kind of spoken word and music and imagery to really give you more sense of the spirit or the feel of that card. So between the booklet, the images, and the cards themselves, if you've read Savage Awakening, my book Savage Awakening, that's going to help you deepen your understanding. And these are really kind of like a telephone with the unseen realm and with deeper intelligence. It is my belief that we learn best from life itself. And I appreciate human teachers. I am a human teacher. I appreciate human teachers, but I very, very deeply believe that there is no better teacher than deeper intelligence and the spirits and the life around us. And these cards, I love them so much. These cards are really helping you to build and develop and form that relationship for you itself. So I love this card. Yeah, I'm thrilled. This is, seeing a project come to life and holding it in your hands, giving birth to something like this is really quite special. I freaking love this card. This is called Transmute. You can't see the greens very well on camera, but Transmute is about, it's an alchemical process of taking maybe something that's poisonous and toxic and transmuting it and bringing it into the world as something that's more life-giving and life-affirming and less toxic. And there's some pretty deep meanings in that card. Yeah, I don't know if you can see how pretty that card is. I guess the richness shows through if I kind of hang back so the light isn't washing it out and blasting it so much. But yeah, this is for the land spirits. And there's a bunch of little, like there's a tree spirit, there's a little face in the tree, and there's all these spirits. So these cards are really a meditation. they give you insight and they will talk to you. And this card is fantastic. So the cards are for, isn't she beautiful? This is a blinded. This is a red path card. So you have cards for each of the 4 spiritual initiation paths, black, red, green, and white. And then there's general meaning cards, and then there are planetary cards. So working with the planets as beings and having those planets come in and work with you and teach you and guide you. And it's a nice coupling. I've got a planetary course coming up end of April. I'm going to teach how to work with the planets in a really kind of ancient and new way. And the more you learn about the planets and see what planetary influences are in your life and how to work with them properly, it's really transformative, powerful magic and sorcery and spiritual relational stuff. I'm very happy. You can still pre-order the cards. What I'm hoping is I'm going to do another prototype after everything gets set to see how it looks. Then I'll go to the offset printer and place an order. I will be ordering one more prototype from them, and then before I place the final order. So they have, this prototype was about 3-week turnaround. There'll be another probably 3 weeks with the offset printer for the prototype, and then the final order will go in and everything will get put together and then mailed to you. So yeah, I'm just very excited. I'm very excited. And I was blown away how accurate that first reading was without even consecrating the deck or anything, just right out of the box. Super accurate. My sweetie was blown away too. Super accurate reading. It was very cool. So that's that. This deck is also great for healers and therapists and things like that who are working with people who are going through spiritual initiation. You don't have to be on a path of spiritual initiation to work with these cards. They really are an oracle deck for working with the deeper powers of this world, and they can serve you very, very well. If you are on a path of spiritual initiation, these will be like clutch or key for you and really help you a lot to get insight, to deepen, to get access to truthful perspectives that can hit in a really good way. So yeah, if you want a deck, there's still time. I will be capping my offset printing is extraordinarily expensive, just extraordinarily expensive. And once we've got about a month or so window before I place the offset order, probably 4 to 6 weeks, I'm hoping, before I place the offset printing order. And at that point, I will be closing the pre-order and the ordering because I will have a cap of how much I can afford to print because they are so expensive. So if you want a deck, comes with the book. You get your deck, your book, your box, and you'll get videos. So if you want that, please go to thedragonmother.com/oracle. You can go to thedragonmother.com and you'll see Oracle there, and that's where you can do your pre-order. You can see samples of the cards. I've been reading tarot and Oracle cards for 40 years, at least over 40 years, I think. Over 40 years. Yeah, over 40 years, as well as runes. And I love divination. I'm very, very picky about what decks I use. And, you develop kind of friendships and reliance on certain decks because they speak more than others. And I feel like these are, really good connection and communication tools. They're pretty legit and solid. So I'm thrilled. I can't wait. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all. They're here. The prototype is here. I still have to make some changes. There's still a lot to do, but we are in the home stretch on getting all of this done. And it's a nice, sturdy box. I have to make some changes to this formatting as well. I've got my little ISBN. It's so exciting. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share. All right. Bye-bye.